couple reasons for this. I mean, first off, hey, that's the world, right? That is the world that we live in. Almost 60% of LinkedIn traffic comes off their mobile. You're going to see why that plays into a lot of things we talk about here today. But also, I want to give you guys a chance to play along. So, I mean, it's one thing to kind of sit here and absorb and get information, but let's do some things. So depending on your phone carrier, I don't think we're maybe on Wi-Fi here necessarily, but depending on what your phone carrier is, maybe you can play around. In order to do that, though, you're going to need that LinkedIn app on your phone. So how many people already know that they have that LinkedIn app on the phone? So that looks like most of the room. You know, if you don't have it and you're really speedy, you can probably get it to download in about 30 seconds and then you'll have it. Because the point is, I'm going to show you some of these things which has to do with the new desktop design, but because it's actually mirrored in the mobile phone, right, you can actually do some of these things, and I just find people take away so much more if they actually do things than just hear it. Okay, so here we go, we're talking about the new LinkedIn. So a little bit of the timeline here. So back in September, it's real hard to see, September 26th. So back in September, LinkedIn kind of pre-announced that they're going to be rolling out this new interface. By the way, I should say I do not work for LinkedIn. I'm independent, but I spent the last 5 years focused on using LinkedIn for sales. So again, back in December, they said, we're going to change the desktop or your browser interface on LinkedIn. Biggest design change in its 14-year history. And then nothing happened. And everybody was sort of wondering, like, when is my account changing over? Started to happen about Thanksgiving. I got mine mid-December, so it's not geographic. No one knows how LinkedIn rolls this out, but they've got 500 million members, and it takes a while to roll this out across servers worldwide. It's probably going to be about 3 months. Well, it kind of started with this flurry between the holidays of Thanksgiving and December. Then it really slowed down. People were saying, is something wrong? Are they holding back? Are they going to delay? You know, what's happening? And then they came out with this announcement a couple of weeks ago, January 19th, and they said, it's back on, right? And it's back on, and it's full force, and it's full steam ahead. So we saw that really a lot of people in the last couple of weeks have been turned on. So we're going to find out in this room right now which one you have. Okay. So I'm talking about the desktop browser version now. Okay, the first thing is how many people in this room have been on LinkedIn this year? You've been on LinkedIn this year. Okay, just we're
reverse the question. Who has not?
Who has not been on LinkedIn this year? Okay, so a handful, right? Okay, so I mean, it's going to be a little harder for you to think about, like, what does my interface look like? But again, when you're on your desktop, your computer, you're on the old interface. It looks like this. The easiest way, some of the buttons are the same, some are different navigations, but the easiest way to recognize the two is the older version, their interface for about 3 or 4 years. Everything's on the left-hand side, left half of the screen. Okay, the new version, right, which looks like this. Some of the functions change. We're going to talk about those. They move over to the right, so that's the easy way to tell. Okay, so how many people here think they're still on the old version? It's like what? Doesn't look like either of those. Do you have like one of the premium versions? Sales Navigator or something like that?
I don't know, the premium.
Yeah, one of the premiums. Even one of the premiums should look like sort of one or the other, but we can talk. Maybe I'll learn about another one. So wait, how many have the old? Okay, so it's like right now it's about 50-50 when I've tested people. How many know they have the new? They recognize the new. Okay, so it looks like maybe 10.
Is it cast in your browser, possibly the old?
It shouldn't, because as long as you're, I don't know, it shouldn't, because when you're making a call to it, yeah, it should come up. So anyway, that's where we are. So this is fine. It makes training on LinkedIn very exciting when you've got 2 different interfaces to train on. Okay, so again, this is kind of what they look like. We just found out here in this room. Okay, let's talk about the why. Before we're going to talk about some of the how-tos. I'm going to show you guys a couple techniques, but let's talk about like why, so you sort of understand what's the context, what's going on, what's happening with LinkedIn. I don't even think I really have it on this chart, but if you don't know, the world's biggest software company, Microsoft, bought LinkedIn. Deal was announced, summer, closed in December. So that's a done deal now. LinkedIn's part of Microsoft. But these were all on track before that deal closed. So why did they do it? They wanted to make it simpler. They wanted to make the desktop simpler. The reason is LinkedIn suffers from kind of a low usability in terms of social networks. So they have a 23% rating, what they call monthly active users. That's why I was seeing who's used it this year, because we basically got a month into the year. So 23% of the 500,000 LinkedIn members are in there at least once a month. How many people have been on LinkedIn today? Okay, wow, look at that. Okay. So they want to make it simpler, right? 14 years, developers keep throwing things on, and you get stuff bolted on and added on, and appendages and things like that, because they wanted to increase the engagement. Why did they want to increase the engagement? Woodward Bernstein, right? Make more money. It all comes down to make more. Anytime, any question they ask you why, just say make more money. 9 times out of 10, you got it. Okay. What does that mean in terms of LinkedIn? It was funny. We were standing out here at one of the tables, and we were talking about the different, like, what business are you in, right? And you were in recruiting, and somebody else was in online marketing next to us. And these are actually the 3 areas of LinkedIn, right? So they've got the online marketing, recruiting, and the subscriptions part of LinkedIn. That's how they make their money. So all of those areas, the more people that are using it, the more people that see it, the more eyeballs you attract, the more candidates you get online. Obviously, all those things raise money. So that's kind of why they did it. Okay. So now, has everybody got their smartphone out? Shh. Okay, so this is what the new one looks like. Okay, and one of the easiest ways to get used to it, even if you don't have it yet, you can start to get used to it, because guess what? Remember we said they're trying to make it more like the mobile. If you look at your mobile phone right now, this is an iPhone. I think the Android's probably pretty similar. You can see here, down here, I've got home, network, messaging, notifications, and me. Right? If I come up here, I've got home, network, skip jobs, messages, notifications, and me. They're the same. Right? That was part of the purpose. Again, let's make it simpler for people. We're going to make the desktop mirror the mobile version that's been out about 6 months now. Okay, so we can see that. All right. To do that, if you're going to make something simpler, you got to throw out some stuff. So LinkedIn threw out some stuff on the browser, and I was having a pre-meeting conversation with somebody. There's going to be some impact to it. So there's certain things that are kind of getting. That's why there's an asterisk there. Goodbye quote. So these are some of the things. The completeness. Are you a beginner? Are you an all-star? Whatever those things. Tags. Somebody was asking me about tags this morning, or notes. They were talking about notes on this. And finally, there's the advanced search, which was really powerful in LinkedIn, a way to zero in exactly on your targets and things like that. Now, I said those are sort of going goodbye. They're going goodbye from the free LinkedIn as you know it. Now, why do you think the top 3 there are in green? Yeah, they're going up onto the other side of the paywall now. So you used to have a lot more power to search in the free LinkedIn. That's going away. So what I tell people in terms of the impact is, it depends, right? That's a consultant's answer for everything. It depends. Okay, this is what it depends on. It depends on kind of how you see yourself on that kind of user scale. If you're a low-level user, like if you haven't been on LinkedIn this year, you don't really use it that much anyway. Like, it's no big deal. Like, what do you care? I say it's like if they changed the rules to cricket or something. It wouldn't impact me. I don't play cricket. I don't watch cricket. It doesn't make any difference to me. Okay. Likewise, if you're way on the other side, like if you're using Sales Navigator or LinkedIn Recruiter, one of the super high-end versions of LinkedIn that cost you like more than $1,000 a year, if you're using one of those, no impact on you, because you're paying the big bucks, you're still getting all the features, right? But most people, the majority of those 500 million people, are sort of in between. They're either power users that are squeezing every bit of functionality out of the free version, or they're using one of the lower level paid versions, like Business Plus, Sales Executive, Career Builder. There's 4 or 5 different kind of low level ones that are over from like $30 to $60 a month. If you're in this space, you're really going to get squeezed into one side or the other, because you're either going to decide, because you're still paying and your functionality is getting reduced. That's right. So you're either going to say, I need the functionality, I got to go up and pay more to get it, or you're going to say, forget it and stop paying. Right? That's what's going to shake out. So we'll see. Be interested. Again, I don't work for LinkedIn. We'll see how it plays Okay, so we're going to talk about real quickly these where am I? It's weird, where are my words? Okay, well, the good thing I've done it for 5 years, I sort of know. So we're going to talk about the 4 steps of social selling, okay? We're going to talk about enhancing your profile, which is your image, your appearance, right? This is your online appearance. We're going to talk about enhancing your profile. We're going to talk about growing your network. We're going to talk about prospecting, and then we're going to talk about engagement with content. Now, one of the things we're going to do at the end, I'm going to tell you guys, so I'm doing a course, but it starts next week, and I'm going to give away one of the seat to it. So if you guys want a chance, at the end of my talk here in a few minutes, we'll pass the fishbowl, throw a business card in, and we'll give away. It's that flyer that's on your seat, so I'll give one of those away at the end. All right. So here we go. Let's talk about it. There we go. Profile. There it shows up. All right. So on your profile, again, this is your online presence, right? This is it now. This is where people go to look for you, right? So there's some, the really key elements. Look at these good-looking people that we've got up here on some of their LinkedIn profiles. So I wanted to do this for a couple reasons. So first, this is what the new interface looks like. One of the things you notice is we don't have the square picture on the side anymore. It's a circle in the middle of the screen.
Okay, yeah, I have to know.
Okay, this one looks familiar?
Yeah, it's
okay.
just mine came with like a design element, so it kind of looks like a web page.
Oh, okay, yeah, you may have had a graphic around it. So, so one of the things that's important about this is, like, you really want to have a headshot, right? You really want to have a headshot, meaning, like, nothing lower than the shoulder in there. Because, again, people are looking at this on their smartphone. That's a small little image that you're going to have there. So you want to really maximize the circle real estate by filling the frame with face. Okay, so that's kind of your one takeaway, like, hey, you really have a headshot in there. And we'll also talk in just a minute about people's headlines. Now, this is a really fun thing to do. I think this may have been in one of the emails John sent out. Did anybody do this where you score your photo? This is a cool new application called the Snapper Photo Analyzer. I just realized this. What a crazy tie-in. This actually is an Australian company. This is a whole Australian thing that came in. So we got that tie-in working there. But it's super cool. It takes like 10 seconds. You basically just, so here's Cosmo Kramer rating of 74. So all you do, and you can do it on your phone right now as I'm talking if you want, if you got a fast enough connection, you can do it right now. So all you do is you go to snapper.co. Go to Snapper with no E here. So it's snapper.co. That'll get you to their website. Because you're in the mobile app, right, it's gonna look like this, and you're going to want to hit the little, guys, I learned what that's called at a conference last week. What that's called. You know what they call that in software? A hamburger. That's what the programmer, they call it a hamburger, right? So it's basically your menu stack that unfolds. Anyway, if you hit that button and then you hit the photo analyzer, you'll see the app pop up and it scans your LinkedIn photo in 10 seconds, comes out and gives you a score. So go ahead. It's kind of a fun thing, right? You can do it now, you can do it when you get home. You'll get a score out of that. It actually does really give some valuable feedback to people, though. I find that it gives good things about composition, lighting, framing, do you have proper eye squint in your smile? All these great things. All right. Last part we're going to talk about, the profile, is your headline. Now, here's probably the biggest takeaway from any training I do. Gang, your LinkedIn headline is not your title. The title is what you are, right? That is not what customers want to see. If you want to attract prospects, right, there has to be a customer-oriented benefit statement in there. Put on your marketing hat, right? Channel your inner Don Draper. You have to appeal to that person in 120 characters, so they want to click and find you and connect with you, etc. So here's an example. This is from the old design, because he's got the square. Can anybody tell me what this guy does? What's the benefit? What does he give to his customers? Who is he serving? What does he do? Come on, quick! Come on! It's very hard. This all it says is account manager. That's his title. That's not going to do it, right? So he changed it. He understood, oh, I gotta call out my market. What's the benefit of dealing with me? Who am I targeting, right? So he changed it to, I help Southern California entertainment companies hire and retain top quality accounting professionals. Now, does anybody have the vaguest clue of what this guy does? Anybody? What kind of companies possibly he works for? What does he do? Yeah, it's pretty clear, right? So the point is, if you're sitting there at, Disney or TriStar or Sony Pictures or whatever, and you run the accounting department, and you see that guy commenting on LinkedIn, or he pops up in a search or something, do you want to talk to him? Probably yes. Right? So think about your own headline. Is it identifying my customer base and what's the outcome I deliver them? That's your homework. Okay, network. Let's talk about the network side of it. So the network, here's the takeaway I want to give you here. On the network side of it, if you pull up, again, if you want to play along, pull up somebody's profile on LinkedIn, somebody that you met here, you know, John Golden, me, Tanya, just pull up somebody's profile you're not connected to. You can find them there on your mobile. Do not click that connect button. It's a trap. Do not click the connect button. It's a trap. Because if you do that, it sends the default message, lazy message that says, I'd like to add you to my LinkedIn network. Right? Which not only I hate because it's default, but it's so me-centric. It's a bad default message. Well, default messages are bad, and it's a bad default message.
Why is it there?
Because LinkedIn wants people to feverishly connect with people indiscriminately to drive engagement. But it's total quantity, it is not quality. And back to Nicholas's comment about real relationships and being genuine and knowing people and the stuff Tanya said. Look, I'm up here talking about social networking. Yes, it's digital. But again, at the end of the day, it is about human relationships, and that means you have to have some quality in there. So, here's the little secret. If you guys have that picture up now, there are 3 tiny little dots. Tiny, I don't know what that's called.
3 dots.
It's like a sideways hammer. 3 dots. Yes, thank you. That's good. Are you programming? So if you hit those 3 dots, then a magic new field opens up, and one of them says personalize an invitation. Okay? And then if you hit that button, because you're on your smartphone, do what Nicholas just said. Like, I invite people off my smartphone all the time because I don't have to type. It'd be like, click, hey, it was great to meet you at the Pipeliner Power Breakfast in Santa Monica. Let's connect on LinkedIn and strengthen our networks. Send, right? So now there's context to it. So that's the point, okay? Again, you can do the same thing. I would love to have you open for all of my presentations because you know one of the things that you talked about was milestones. You're celebrating milestones in there. And LinkedIn tells you every day who in your network is celebrating milestones. Is a work anniversary? Did they get promoted? Were they mentioned in the news? Or what else? Is it their birthday, right? All of those are fantastic opportunities to celebrate a milestone, reach out and connect with them. And if you sort of think like, oh, you know, digital, it's not communicating, that's fine, pick up the phone. LinkedIn's giving you the information. You can use it as a vehicle or you can pick up the phone. Hey, I see it's your birthday today, let's grab lunch. Wow, now you're face to face, imagine that. Okay, so again, real easy to do. It's just, if you go to if you got your phone still up in your LinkedIn app and you click on network, you're going to see who in your network has milestones today. Okay, number 3, prospecting, finding people. This is the one where the big change happens in LinkedIn. So if you're thinking about it, again, the first thing you have to do is just the thinking. Forget about LinkedIn for a minute. The first thing you have to do is thinking, like, you have to describe your online, like, who is your ideal profile, right? And you want to use things like title, industry, location, maybe company size, different things like this. What you're looking at here, again, is the new version. I'm still in the free version, but you got to be a little trickier now because they've really watered down the advanced search capability. So one little trick is, a lot of times you are looking for a title. So to get to the title these days, instead of just typing in the keyword, put title : CFO, because then it tells LinkedIn to just look in that field to pull them up. And then you can see that I've added some other things like location, Los Angeles, and I may have picked like an industry. And so it came back and told me I had 584 people that have a title CFO in the banking industry in Los Angeles, right? And here they are, and then from there I can do whatever my prospecting techniques would be. But this is just the part about finding them in the new LinkedIn. Okay, last one I'm going to talk about is the engagement piece of LinkedIn. So the prospecting piece is very tried and true sales. That's an outbound prospecting. So if you've been in sales for a while, you're used to the Rolodex and looking through the list. So whether it's the phone book or computer green sheets, right, or your pipeline or database, whatever it happens to be, that's outbound prospecting. This is the other side of it. you said women are more active on social media. This is really the social media part. This is the media part. By posting information and engaging, you are increasing your visibility and credibility as a subject matter expertise in whatever it is. Hiring, marketing, employee benefits, logistics, marketing automation. Whatever your specialty is that you provide, you want to be able to showcase this by engaging. So there's 3 ways you can do it on LinkedIn. The simplest way is you can just like something. That's pretty light effort to say like something, but nevertheless you are registering, you're in the game, you're playing, you're showing up on the social web. To go one step with a little bit more effort, you can actually comment on something. So again, in both of these instances, somebody else started the conversation and you're reacting to it, but that's fine. You can come in and add your 2 cents, maybe elevate that conversation and bring some new information to the people by commenting. And then, of course, the last element of it would be that you're actually sharing content. So you're starting it now. Okay? So it can either be things that you create or your company creates, or, right? So we've got an example here that we've seen before, right, of SalesPOP, of the Pipeliner SalesPOP information. So you might go on there and find some really valuable information. We saw all those experts that Nicholas showed that are publishing content on SalesPOP. There might be things there that you want to share with your audience, and you get value because you're the publisher of it. Not the publisher, but you're the person sharing the information, right? So those are all the different elements. So let me show you guys a nice little trick of how to find information, because you all have your own little, whatever you're an expert in. So again, if you got your smartphone and you got your LinkedIn app up, go ahead and pull that up and come up to the search. So start with your home page and come up to your search bar on LinkedIn and type in like your word, your deal, your topic, whatever your thing is. Recruit, again, it's recruiting or insurance or manufacturing or whatever it is type of topic that you would comment on. So go ahead and do a search on that. Now what you're going to find is that it defaults over here to like it says top, which is this catch-all. Then it says people. Then it says jobs. The 4th one says posts. So in other words, it's giving you the results of things that have been posted on LinkedIn with that topic.
Is that only with the new one? Because the old one.
Nope. This is the mobile that's been out for 6 months. Right. So this is just on the mobile. So if you've got a search field, and you type a keyword in and you hit search, right, it should come back and give you these choices across the top. Does anybody got it working?
No, is it true for premium also?
No, this is free, mobile, been out for 6 months. Anybody can do it. All right, talk to me afterwards. So, has anybody figured it out yet?
No. That'll work.
What's that?
It works.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if it's a what smartphone are you on?
I'm on Android, so
Okay, so I know
the only difference is see the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
That's at the top.
Okay.
Versus Apple.
Okay. So if you're curious about it, ask me afterwards here in about 1 minute, right? Again, you put your keyword in there. Now, here's one other little prospecting technique you can do. Imagine if you were a conference here and you saw 3 people that were all gathered around one of the tables there, and they're all talking about your topic of interest. Now, wouldn't you tend to want to walk up into that and find out what's going on and maybe find out who those people are and add something in? If they're talking about if you overhear them talking about the thing you're an expert in, of course you would. So why not do the same thing on the web? See down here, there's 68 people that engage with this comment about supply chain. So if I'm a supply chain guy, I want to know who those 68 people are. Maybe connect with them, maybe reach out to them, right? So again, this is a final prospecting technique that just says, if there's smoke, there's fire. Let's see who those people are. Maybe I want to engage with them. Okay? So that's the quick run through our 4 different areas. Again, it's really about increasing your appearance online, growing your network in a quality manner, prospecting, finding those right kind of ideal prospects, and then finally engaging so that you actually attract them to you. So a couple things. So I got the free thing and the not free thing. The free thing is if you want to get just regular updates on LinkedIn. It changes all the time. It's like the weather. So if you want to get on my mail list and get these updates that I send out about what's changing on LinkedIn, you can just text the word sell to that number. It'll pop back to you, say, hey, enter your email, and you're entering in, and then you're on my mail list. You can do that. Other option is you've got the flyer here. I'm doing this. It's a 4-week course, starts next week, all about mastering the new LinkedIn, and you've got the information you need there.